What's up, you guys? Welcome to my workout. This is not a tutorial nor instructional video. It's just if for those who are interested, this is how I work out. This is so what I'm going to do today. I haven't done it in a long time. I'm going to be working with sandbags. 3.5 years ago, or about 3 years ago, when I first started on social media, the great Richard Love of the Savage Army noticed how weak I was. So he was kind enough to send me some of his sandbags. So I'm going to be using those today. I've got a 120 pounder, and if things work out, I might do a few things with a 170 pounder. But the reason why I haven't used the sandbags in a long time is, I'll be honest, sandbags for me are probably the most challenging strength training implement that I own. I mean, if anything puts the fear into me, it is a sandbag. Last time I just tried to walk one up a hill and I almost killed myself, and it was 120 pounds. To me, the most impressive and meaningful kind of strength of all is wrestler strength. I'm not a wrestler myself. I did a little in high school. I was never good at it. But if you have the strength and work capacity that a wrestler has, there's nothing you can't do, in my opinion. The conditioning and the mental fortitude that's required to even be a low-level wrestler is it's beyond anything that I've ever experienced. Okay, so this simulates that, and I'm going to get started. I don't want to get too long-winded here, but once again, I haven't warmed up. I just was making dinner, and my warm-up is just a light version of what I'm going to do. So starting with a 120-pound sandbag. Here we go. Stiff old man knees. Okay, so 120-pound bag. There's two ways you can lift it. End to end like this, which I feel gives a slight advantage because the bag is more rigid that way. I like it to simulate picking up a body, so I like to lift it with the ends pointing this way. And I just start with a regular deadlift. The main thing is getting my hands scooped underneath the bag. And I like to lower my hips as far as I can, so that as I wedge my hips under, lift my chest, I'm going to pry my thighs out to the side. Take a deep breath. Push with my legs. And I want to end up here. I'm not going to try stand all the way up. I'm almost in a position where I can roll the bag, okay? Placing it back down. Okay, that stance was a little wide. I'm going to try and go a little narrower now. I'm sorry I don't have a microphone on, but for lifting sandbags, the wire and everything's going to get in the way, so I'm just going to try and talk loud. Once again, scooping my hands, I don't have the advantage of gripping some convenient bar or handle. You just kind of create your own handle with this thing. Okay, I'm going to get it right underneath myself, pry my thighs out to the side, wedge my hips down, get my chest up, driving with my legs. Good. Now, what I'm working for is to be able to clean this bag in one non-stop movement up to a shoulder. But I have to warm up the faster twitch musculature and also make sure that I've established the appropriate kinetic chains involved. And that, for me, goes the best if I enter or add speed slowly. All right, here we go. on the warm-up as well as the workout sets. I no longer try to get too tired, and I don't go to max usually on most of my sets. Today with the Sandbag, it has been months, I think, since I've taken these out. So I might go to somewhat maximal effort on some of this, but we'll see. All right, I'm gonna try and bring this just up to my chest. When I catch the bag, I try not to use my fingers. I like to use a fist. Ooh, a little head rush there. Because I want to actually, I think what makes sandbags so difficult for people is the fact that this is the one strength training implement that instead of using your hands to attach yourself to whatever it is you're lifting, you kind of have to turn your body into a hand. Like imagine this is the palm, these are the fingers, and you have to, like for me to attach this bag to my chest, I'm having to squeeze like a fist. All right, so, all right, I'm starting to warm up here. I'm gonna see if I can bring it up to my, for some reason I'm right-handed, but my right shoulder seems to be a little more awkward, so we're gonna prioritize that side first. All right. Left side. So because you see how this bag kind of gets up on the ears, any kind of headset, even AirPods for shoulder cleaning a sandbag, they're not a good idea. Not only would they get destroyed, but they might destroy your ear in the process. So, okay. I'm gonna see if I can get this bag from the floor, from the ground over my shoulder now. Might have to do this in in two parts. All right, and then hopefully might be able to get it in one shot, but we'll see. If you guys wrestle or you roll jiu-jitsu, I can't think of a better implement than this, other than another human being to train with. Because if you think of it, I mean, regardless of your technique, if you can take an object that is about as close to a human body as you can simulate, and if you can, from the floor, do that, like I said, regardless of your technique, that ability is going to help you on the mat or on the street. as you're doing your stuff. So let's see if we can get that on the right side. Okay. One more time on the left. And one more time on the right. And then I'm going to take a break. Okay, that's what we want. All right, I'm going to take a little break. I want to talk to you about these shoes that I'm wearing. I'm in partnership with, oh, you know what? Look at that. I'm just realizing I brought 2 pairs of boots out here. And I was talking to my wife. I have a little ADHD, so these kind of things happen. I'm wearing 2 different boots. This is a Decon, and that's, oh shit, I forget. Anyway, they're both by Vivobarefoot. They sponsor these videos. They pay me so that I have the time to make these. And I was a customer well before we were ever partners. And I like them because their shoes not only look good, but they are wide toe base and flat soled. And they're just the most comfortable and functional shoes for me. All right, so that's not meant to be a commercial, but I'm letting you guys know why I wear shoes now. And this video is all one take, so even though I'm wearing actually 2 different pairs of shoes, they're both boots and they both feel the same. So I'm gonna go forward. All right, one more clean at 120, or over the shoulder throw, 120 pounds, right side. All right. What's up, bro? How you doing?
You get IG?
What?
You get IG?
I do, bro.
Are you famous?
No, I'm not. What do you got?
Huh?
Chickens.
Yup.
Where do you get that?
You get some menu.
Just pick them up.
Huh?
You just pick them up, or that's your pet. Right on. Good looking, bro. Yeah, right on.
Yes, sir.
Sweet, bro. Take care.
Hello, you too.
Aloha. Okay. Here we go. Butt low, chest tall, big breath. And I push out slowly, even though I'm trying to accelerate. I'm not trying to go to slow at the bottom. If I do that, it's gonna pull me onto my toes. I'm gonna lose this. I have to stay connected to this sandbag. So I get my butt low, my chest tall, prime my thighs out to take out all the slack in my hip, take a deep breath. There's a slow push at the beginning, and then I explode at the top. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Now I haven't moved the 170-pound sandbag. I seriously can't remember the last time I took this one out. There was a recent video that Richard posted to his Savage Army Instagram page where he's taking a bag like this, or about 150, knowing him there was probably more in there, and just throwing it over his shoulder. I probably am not going to try to do that today. If I can just get this up to my chest, I'll be happy. This is it's a 150-pound bag. It says 150 on it, but I loaded it to 170 because that tends to be the weight of, you know, an average male, and it's just to me a very challenging amount of weight to lift in this fashion. Okay, so not only is a sandbag at this weight obviously a lot bulkier, getting this, okay, everything's a grip in terms of this, being able to shovel grip, I don't know if that's the right word, but just shovel your hands under something and lift it, be it a sandbag, a stone, a log, a body. Being able, this is a type of grip that a lot of people don't realize or train very much, and this is extremely functional and very important. Okay, so first just gonna warm this up. Oh wow. All right, so just a deadlift. That extra 50 pounds, that's a big difference. Wow. Whew. Once again, what makes 170 pounds in a sandbag so much more than 170 pounds worth of barbell or dumbbells is the fact that instead of using your grip or your fists to affix you to something that's conveniently sized for the human anatomy, you now have to kind of turn your whole body into a fist in order to connect yourself to this bag, and that requires a lot more of your energy reserves. So the amount of force I need to exert inwards and then maintain this integrity, those energy units are now being diverted from my legs and my back. And so the total body expenditure is much higher per pound with a sandbag than, say, something else that's easier to hold on to. All right, break's over, let's go. I'm just gonna see if I can accelerate this bag a little bit. All right, let's go one more time. A little bit of a head rush on that one. That's another thing, the orthostatic demands on your vascular system with this, because you have to, it's such a systemic, full body application. It gives you a rush when you're done. And I can't say it's a bad one either. Okay, it's a stony lift. All right, here we go. Let's try to get a little speed on this again. Butt low, chest tall, prying the thighs out, activating the glute medius and minor, all that physio stuff. All right, here we go. Okay. I'm gonna see if we can I might be able to stick it to my chest. There are two ways of doing this. First is to lap the sandbag and then bring it to the chest. That's a fantastic technique. I am going to see if I can clean it from the ground up to my chest in one fell swoop. Let's see how this goes. Regardless of the speed at which you're lifting this bag, you always want to test the balance on it. If it's a little front heavy or back heavy, obviously as you accelerate that imbalance is certainly not going to improve as you add speed to it. So make sure that your bag feels very centered, especially when you start accelerating it. All right, here we go. That was a rush. Whew. Gosh, I used to have to pay for that effect. Damn. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm sure there are guys that can just blast this. I've seen my buddy at Jared Cardona, he's the crazy trainer, and Richard Love of the Savage Army. Holy shit, you should see those guys blast. I mean, what I'm doing for one rep and then all day long. Check those guys out if you want to see how this is really done. I'm just showing you how this old man does it. All right, here we go. One more time in the chest. All right. Even at this weight, I start slow. I stay connected. I want to keep my weight on the back half of my feet, because if I ditch forward on the way up, I'm done. Here we go. All right. One more time. That was kind of ugly, but we'll take it. Still can't believe I'm wearing 2 different pairs of boots. It's just okay. Let's see if we can get over to the right side just a little bit. Abort. Okay, so what happened there, my left wrist, I wasn't symmetrical. A little bit too much of this bag went over to the left side. My wrist buckled, so the bag shifted, and once that occurs, there's no practical reason for trying to force that one out, so we're just gonna do it again. Once again though, that buckling of the wrist, that's also just because this is getting tired. The sandbag is going to find everywhere you are weak and it's gonna rub your face hard into it. And that's why and I think a lot of other people don't like this. I hear a lot of people say this is boring. I've learned that when it comes to strength training, boring is sometimes a way of hiding behind it makes me feel weak and inept. At least that's what that's the way I used it in the past. But that's just me. Okay, here we go. Okay. That's it. 170 is starting to get more out of me than I'm getting out of it, so I'm going to back it down and do a few. I'm just going to do. I'm going to stop the camera now because I'm pretty much done. But I'm going to do just a few slow-mos of my clean with 120. It's another thing. Whether you do social media or not, forget social media. This is super important. If you want to get better at anything you do, videotape yourself. I'm going to be videotaping my movements with 120 in slow motion. Not just so I can post it to Instagram, but I see everything I do wrong when I videotape myself in slow motion. So just a suggestion, do that yourself. It's the best coach that you don't have to pay for, okay? All right, guys, if you're still here, thank you for being with me, and much aloha. Take care.